is Stephen Davy. I'm a research manager in Telecommunications Software and Systems Group. So we heard two really good talks this morning already from the industry's perspective. So what I'm going to be talking about is from the researcher's perspective. And really what I'm going to be talking about is, showing how is society going to change as IoT comes in. And I'm going to be giving some examples of how society has changed already given recent technology. So what do we do in TSG? TSG is a research centre based in the southeast of Ireland in Waterford Institute of Technology, and we're about 120 staff. We work across a lot of software development projects. We also work with a lot of industry partners as well. So primarily we do full life cycle of innovation, from commercial development to basic research and basic science. Primarily we're looking into the telecommunications space, and more recently we're looking into Internet of Things. We're working with a lot of large companies in Ireland in trying to bring their research strategies forward. So I want to talk a little bit about digital evolution, and really Internet of Things is going to be that next trend in digital evolution. So if we look, a few years ago, when e-commerce became very popular, the internet was invented, and then it was a commercial business model. You can buy your groceries online, you can buy products online. So what happened was consumers' behaviour started to change. They started to see, I don't need to go down to the local shop. I can shop where I like globally and get the product shipped to me. And it also changed the business models for the retailer as well. So the retailer, they weren't just restricted to the local population in the area. They could ship worldwide. They could sell their products worldwide. So it really innovated how both the industry and the consumers their behaviour, and this is a big trend in technology. Another big change came along more recently when the smartphone came along. So the smartphone, now you had this technology in your pocket, and so you didn't have to be at home, or you didn't have to be at a PC if you wanted to be able to shop, or if you wanted to be able to look up some information. You had it in your pocket. So this was, this also changed, both retail and consumer behaviour. So for example, a lot of people now, they have their smartphone or mobile device. They'll be able to work on the move. They'll be able to check in on check in what's going on at work, check in with their friends. So this is, when this technology came along, industries and companies had to react. Just like e-commerce came along, they had to react to see what's their mobile strategy. Do we need a mobile app for our business? Do we need a mobile app for our employees? Their workers are expecting this. So you could take this analogy even further when IoT comes along. How is that going to impact retailers, industry, and also consumers? How are they going to change their behaviour because of these technologies going to come along? And it's going to be as a big an impact on the way they go about their lives as the smartphone and e-commerce. And this is something that's going to bring a very, very big opportunity to companies, both the retail space, industry, and for the consumers in the benefit to their lives. So if you're thinking about the Internet of Things, some of the predictions are they're talking about how many connected devices is there going to be. So the connected device isn't just going to be your phone. If you're looking at predictions towards the year 2020, there'll be 50 billion connected devices. So what are all these devices going to be doing? At that stage it's going to be an order of magnitude more than the population of the planet. So it's going to be people that are going to be connected to 4 or 5 devices. It could be a lot more than that. So the connectivity numbers are just skyrocketing. So really what these devices are, as we heard earlier, they're sensors. They're your connected fridge, your connected car, your connected office. People are going to start to adapt and change their lifestyle now that they have more information about what's going on in the world around them. So just some aspects of the types of impact it's going to have on them. From the consumer, some of the use cases that we were seeing is, the smart light bulbs. If you walk into a room, the light comes on. We've already seen that kind of technology. But how about, there's a building maintenance company that's saying they're managing that light bulb for you. If the bulb goes out, a new one comes in, or they come in and service the light bulb for you. So from an industry perspective, there's a lot of, by having all these devices connected into their business, they'll be able to outsource a lot of that management and that work for them. The smart home environment, smart detectors, smart smoke detectors, smart alarms. You'll be able to check in on your home while you're on holidays, while you're abroad. I guess it's going to give a lot more comfort to people, but they'll also be able to, to change their home patterns as well. Transport and mobility, that's going to have a very big impact when we have seen the connected cars come in, and there's a lot of research being put into autonomous vehicles and autonomous driving as well. So it's going to raise a lot of research questions, but it could have a lot of benefits and impacts on changing consumers' patterns. We've seen the popularity of car sharing, and what car sharing is trying to do is it's kind of disrupting the model where you need to own a car. So if you're in a city, it might make more sense if you rented a car, or if you had a pay-as-you-go car service rather than owning your own car, if you're predominantly taking public transportation. And that's a model that's it's disrupting how citizens are going to be living in cities in the future. The health in the human body. So a lot of people might be using Fitbits. They might be uploading their data into Strava. So Strava is a platform where you can share, running and exercise data about yourselves on a social network. But that data now can be, if it's on the internet, it can be used by businesses to try and improve how they can tailor and target services towards you. So you can imagine, there's already cases in the US where, let's say in some of the large shopping outlets, where the staff members would have Fitbits, and the enterprise would be able to monitor how productive are the staff. Is there efficiencies that we can bring into the business to make it more productive? And that's how enterprises start to take advantage of these connectivities and these technologies. We heard a bit about building infrastructure management, and so that's really around trying to innovate how businesses can take advantage of having a connected office, having a connected building, and then cities in general. One of the big opportunities that we see in TSG is building solutions that are taking advantage of smarter cities. So that's cities that are getting larger populations. They're trying to tackle challenges in congestion, in pollution, in work-life balance. A lot of technologies need to be developed to try and help not just the cities and companies that are in the cities, but also citizens that are living in cities. And IoT is going to have the potential to change how people live in cities as well. So just some figures on urbanisation and the impact that it's going to have. So this is a trend that's happening right now, and I think IoT is going to have a big advantage on how it can actually improve the sustainability of cities as we go into the future. So right now you can see maybe 5 out of 10 people live in an urban area. The next 30 years, it's going to be 7 out of 10 people. So you can imagine the populations of cities that we're going to have is going to skyrocket, and there's going to be a big demand for much more sustainable living in cities. And it's certainly not going to be the route of we need to get more cars on the road, we need to widen the lanes. It's going to be going the opposite direction. We want to try and take cars off the road. We want to make it more sustainable and easier for people to live in these cities. And by having a connected city, connected cars, more information in the consumer's hand, they'll be able to live and make decisions a lot more effectively in these cities. with a lot of opportunity that's coming up with IoT, and we've heard of it. A lot of the technologies, they're starting to evolve, they're starting to get there. There's still some challenges that we'd see in TSG. Just listen to some of the challenges. Connectivity is going to be a big issue. So connectivity, if we're seeing there's going to be a lot more data being used or being produced, the telcos networks are going to need to be fit for purpose for IoT data, because it's not just going to be text messages and phone calls. It's going to be streaming live data. So it could be HD cameras from cars. It could be CCTV. There's lots of options of how do you handle that data. There's also dedicated IoT providers. There's IoT type networks that are coming out that are targeting different types of data. So very very low bandwidth, very small packets, but over extremely long distances. So those types of networks are going to need to start evolving and come on board. Data handling in IoT. At the moment, people are giving data away for free, potentially, to Facebook or other social media networks. But there's going to be a lot more data that people might be aware of that's going to be collected on them, and they're going to need to be made aware of how is that data handled. And also, the European Commission are starting to put out real, rigid regulations on how enterprises can actually use your data. So this is going to be a big issue for the consumer and for enterprises when they're looking to use IoT data. There's going to be a lot of new business models coming out as well. So you've seen, like the multi-sided business models of Uber and Halo. So there's a lot of innovation for the type of business models. So how do you actually benefit data? How does the consumer benefit? How does the enterprise benefit? While everyone is able to generate revenue from that. Sensor development, I guess we heard from Analog Devices, there's extremely a lot of really good research going on in the sensor development area. That needs to progress. Technology stacks, that's the technology stacks sitting on top of IoT platforms at the moment, even today, is staggering. And seems like there's a new technology stack coming out every day. So if you're trying to innovate in the world of IoT now, it's very difficult for someone to figure out which platform do I go with, which one is going to last. So there's going to have to be some kind of standardization around that as well. I guess finally, to help with addressing some of these challenges, what we have is we're a partner in Pervasive Nation, which is an SFI-funded national IoT testbed. So we'll be able to experiment with different emerging IoT use cases, and you can contact us for details on that. Just to give you a flavour of some of the names that are being out there that are pinning their name to IoT. This is just a small selection of some of the technologies that are out there. But if you thought about the cloud computing space, there's only a handful of names out there. They're all coming into the IoT space. All the device manufacturers are coming in. Everyone sees that IoT is going to be a big play, and they're all bringing their platforms with them. It's going to be an issue for companies that are trying to innovate. Which platform do they go with? And there's just pros and cons to all of these platforms as well. Finally, I'd just like to highlight that TSG, as a research organisation, we can work with lots of companies in Ireland, and we do at the moment through Enterprise Ireland's Innovation Partnership Programme. And what that allows you to do is essentially with the assistance of Enterprise Ireland, they'll cover up to 80% of the costs related to innovation of a new technology product. And you can do that in collaboration with TSG. If it's a program you want to hear a bit more about, you can have a chat with me later. So what we're currently looking to see if we can get some more projects through the Innovation Partnership Programme starting up in September. So if anyone has any interest in trying to innovate in IoT, you can give me a shout after. Okay, thank you.